Slide on into another edition of the Sports Ball Moment with Eddie Winters and Barry the Stallion Streib.
There it is. My name's Eddie Winters. You're tuned into the Rock and Roll Coup d'etat. We've got Barry on the line. Barry, how are you?
Oh, I'm doing just fine after the big week that the Stallion took everybody to the promised land.
There it is, Barry. Well, it has been an incredible past few days. It is. You've been busy with that crystal ball down on the ocean down in St. Pete. Why? How did you spend your weekend? Were you on the edge of your seat?
Well, I had the Baltimore Ravens over the Pittsburgh Steelers as a 10-star, 5 to 10-star play. Then I had a 5-star teaser on Sunday, which won, and then 5 games at all teams that changed surfaces. No teams going to Cleveland, Detroit going to the grass, Seattle going to the grass, Miami going to the AstroTurf. Like taking candy from a little baby when I used to run down the street with the Reese cups in her hand, and it's like taking candy from that baby.
There it is. Agreed and correct. I tell you what, we've got. Speaking of yesterday's victory, the Pittsburgh Steelers 26-6. Our friend Archie from Baltimore wants to know how much credit should Coach Harbs get for the victory.
A little bit of credit, but it's usually the players that do all that. The problem is the play calling down. They kick 5 field goals, stuff like that. But you're supposed to, when you're in that red zone, you're supposed to be scoring touchdowns.
That is
to hold Roethlisberger to no touchdown passes the first time in 38 games. That's what happens when you get your defense healthy and we shut them down.
Right.
We'll be fine. And we play the Cleveland Browns next week. And the Lions pick them. I've already put my wife on this one.
There it is. So you're excited. Let me ask you, everybody, it is all over the news. I've got to ask you, it's off the field. This whole Ray Rice thing is out of hand. And he's been suspended. He's appealing the suspension. Do you think he'll be allowed to play this season?
Well, under the agreement from the Players Association, once you make a determination on a 2-game suspension, they can't go back and make it indefinite. So that's what's probably going to come down to. Whether he plays for the Ravens or not is another story. But once they make a decision on 2 games, they have to stick to that 2 games. That's why he's following an appeal after all the outrage and controversy that's stirred up. But we find out that it's not. There were 67 domestic abuse cases in front of Goodell, and that was the first one that's ever been prosecuted.
Right.
So it's a farce. It needs to be handled, and I think you're all going. And even Adrian Peterson. I mean, I don't know what to expect out of all these guys.
You know what? It is as crazy off the field as it is on the field. I have to say. I tell you what. Did you happen to catch the Orioles yesterday during the heated battle between the Yankees?
Yes, we caught them in a couple doubles and stuff like that. Pierce has taken over now that Chris Davis is not doing what he's supposed to be doing, taking Adderall where he had an excuse for it last year prescription. That's just stupidity. But they have so much depth. Flaherty's picking up the pace. He was 3 for 4 the other day, 4 for 5, 2 for 3. Pierce is hitting the ball out of the ballpark, hitting doubles. They'll be fine. It's what Earl Weaver always said, deep depth. And that's what the Orioles have.
There it is. And let me ask you, we've got the Orioles are playing Toronto the next 3 games. Do you think this is going to be an easy series for the O's?
Well, I think they're taking it on career. It's a never easy series against Toronto because we don't have like an ace pitcher. Hutchinson is pitching tonight. I think he gives the Orioles problems. But the Orioles are 10 games up. The magic number's 3. We'll close it out in Toronto this week. So we're going for the division, maybe we're coming after Anaheim.
I like it. They're closing in. It is going to be. I mean, what are your predictions for these playoffs? Who do you think is it too early to tell? But you think the O's have a shot getting into the series?
They don't match up with Detroit. That's what scares me. Detroit's got a 1.5 game lead over Kansas City right now. So if they have to face Detroit, it's going to be a 5-game series, and hope they can pull it out. They got the pitching depth that they can then pull off the Orioles' bats. But if they don't face Detroit, I think they can beat anybody else.
That's it. That is it. You know what? I am sticking with you, baby, because you know more than anybody. You know how this is going to turn out.
About it. Like taking candy from a baby.
I love it. Stallion, I got to ask you, how do you do it? How will you let your secret out, or you just, you don't have to share it this week, but I just got to know one time, you got to tell me, how do you do it?
When you have teams that practice and play on their own surface, when they go outside, you always heard about Tampa Bay could never win out of the heat. When they went into the cold.
Right.
That's because they practice in that. And Seattle went to the 90-degree heat in the grass, and they were gassed. So the dome teams going outside into the wind when they're sitting in a dome, like the Colts and going to Denver or something like that, New Orleans,
sure,
losing to Cleveland. It's all like taking candy from a baby. I'm telling you, Miami going to the AstroTurf. It's like it's so easy, it's ridiculous. You don't even need to study. All you got to do is look at it yourself, baby.
Exactly. I love it. Stallion, as always, thank you so much for your knowledge. We appreciate it every week. Everybody is sticking with you, baby.
Oh, listen, by the way, I went to sleep when it was 20-7 last night with San Francisco. What the heck happened there?
You know what? That is... You can't sleep. You can't sleep on this.
Oh, my God. You got to stay up for the whole thing, or you're going to read a comeback at the next day.
Exactly. You can't sleep. I love it. Thank you so much, Stallion, for being on. We'll get you next week, baby.
All right, good luck, baby. Bingo.
You got it. There it is. Barry the Stallion.
This has been the Sports Ball Moment with Eddie Winters and Barry the Stallion Streib.